there isn't a huge number of options for this style of ukulele out there really, so it's nice when another one comes along to appear on the site. Keep watching. Yeah, it's got a ukulele review day, and I'm talking about Resonator ukuleles. There's not many of those about, but we'll come on to that. Sorry about my voice. I've got a bad cold. Not COVID. I've tested negative, but I've got a cough, sore throat, and I'm coughing and spluttering quite a bit. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge. This is your summary video review. As I say, there's a link below the video which should take you to the website where you'll see the scores, other reviews, lots more content on GotAUkulele. My thank yous, as ever, running across the bottom of the screen. These are people who've donated in the last week, which is the only way that GotAUkulele can continue doing what it does, because I can't justify spending my my family's money on ukuleles to get them reviewed for you. And if you like what you see on the GotAUkulele YouTube channel, why not think about subscribing? If you hit the little bell symbol, you'll get notified of new stuff that comes your way. Yeah, as I say, not a huge amount of resonator instruments out there. A resonator instrument is a ukulele that doesn't use a sound hole in the traditional way. It uses a spun metal cone to transmit the sound, basically like a speaker, but there's no electricity involved. In fact, they were invented in the days before electricity, so players could be heard on stage without using microphones. A bit like banjos, really. No, but there isn't a huge amount of them about. There's a couple of very good high-end ones, Beltona and National, and then I suppose the usual suspects have their offerings, but you don't get more than one in a range. You don't tend to. So there's not a huge amount. I've reviewed several before, some good, some not so good. I find at the cheaper end they can be a bit thinner, bit rattly sounding. And this is a new, it's not a new one, it's been out for years, but this is the Gretsch G9112 Resonator. It's a concert scale, unlike the Carla or the Soundsmith I looked at. But it's a concert scale. I once looked at the Gretsch G9110 concert, really rather liked it for the money. Really good, solid little instrument. And this is essentially in the same, well, it's the same instrument, but instead of a sound hole, it's got a resonator in it, because this is an all laminate bodied instrument. Double bout concert, two pieces on the top, two pieces on the back, two pieces very slightly curved back, two pieces on the sides. It's finished in what Gretsch call their honey stain. I find it's not offensive, and it's done very well. There's no finish flaws in it. It's like an open pore satin. But I prefer the much darker stain of that 9110 I looked at, which was almost dark chocolatey brown. This is a bit too orange for me, but it's hardly offensive, is it? As I say, this is where you get the difference. It's got the resonator. This is the resonator cover. Underneath there is the cone, which produces the volume. Looks like most other resonators. I mean, they all sort of share the same sort of design here. Terrible for fingerprints, though, as you can see. It's a 6-inch cone, made in China, as the instrument is. It's not handmade hand-spun in Istanbul or somewhere like that. Interesting option for tying the strings on here. They're not knotted just put into slots. There's actually a second hole above there that you can't see, and it's actually working like a tie bar. I don't tend to like this on resonators, because I'd rather tie onto a piece of wood, because unless the metalwork there is absolutely smooth, you tend to get string snappages much earlier than normal. I've had it before with the resonator. I'd rather a wooden bar. Anyway, these haven't snapped yet. The biscuit which sits on top of the cone, which produces the downward force under there, underneath the cover, is made of oven coal, and it's got a maple cap for the saddle. All very, very resonator. F-holes, I can't show inside on the review because I can't get the camera in there, but the kerfing is notched, and it looks pretty tidy. Moving on. As I say, all really tidy down here. Moving on, the neck is made of mahogany, and surprisingly for the price, it's all a single piece. Now that doesn't have any material effect on the quality or how the instrument plays, but it's always a nice indicator of the attention to detail and the sort of quality that they've chosen to go with, because it's harder to carve a single piece neck than put 3 pieces of wood together with glue. So that's nice to see. What I'm not so keen on is that it's noticeably darker in stain than the body. This is more like the colour of the 9110 concert I looked at, and it doesn't match the body. I prefer if the body was this colour. Anyway, I'm really nitpicking, aren't I? It tapers off, fairly flat up here, but a very average, disappointing for me, 34mm at the nut, 28 from G2A. That's topped with a fingerboard made of oven coal. It's dry and it needs oiling. It's very dry, probably from storage. It's not edge bound, it's edge stained, but there are absolutely no sharp frets. You've got 12 to the body here, 13, 14, 15, 16 in total. Position dots face out abalone stars at 5, 7, 10, double 12, one at the 15th. Sadly, one of them has a bit of a flaw in it, which is a bit scruffy. I noticed it. On the side, you get abalone dots to match, so that's all very nice. That's all right. Beyond the bone nut, I love the Gretsch headstock. I mean, I know I moan about the overuse of crown headstocks, but there's something about those curved sides on this that I really like, and that softened top. It looks kind of like a trophy. I really like that. The logo is in pearl, as is the decoration inlaid, and I think that looks great. More positivity. The tuners. These are Grover gears. No problem with those at all. These are superb. This is what I would choose if I was speccing my own instrument. So that's really nice to see. Yeah, they're good. Ukulele strings, as you probably saw from the string tag, and you also get a nice Gretsch logo padded gig bag, which is decent quality. And the price, well, I either see them just a little bit above 300 or discounted down to just a little bit below. So let's say it's about £300. Resonators are more expensive than their acoustic counterparts. That's just a fact. The Carla Resonator is about that much money, although it's a tenner. This is a little bit more expensive than the Soundsmith, but it is significantly cheaper than a Beltona or a National, massively cheaper. So it's not a cheap price, I suppose, but it's not. That doesn't mean it's poor value for money, because I think it is about what you pay for a Resonator. It didn't surprise me when I saw the price. Oh, let's play it. I haven't got a note of the weight. 710 grams from memory, but check that in the review because I haven't got my crib sheet with me. Resonators are always more heavier than acoustics. Obviously, you've got a lot of metal work down here, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable to hold, and pleasingly, it's really balanced as well. It feels nice to hold. I love the finish. Sound. Odd doing reviews of resonators because a lot of people just simply don't like the sound of them. They do sound very metallic. It's just what they sound like. Some people love them, some people hate them. And I don't think you get a huge variance at this sort of level in tone. The Carla I looked at sounded very sort of thin and rattly. The Soundsmith was warmer. And you'd always expect them to be louder. And it is loud, but it's not the loudest resonator I've ever heard. Kind of subdued. The neck's too narrow for me. It's a warmer sound than the Carla. Just not as punchy as I'd expect. Now, that's not a complaint. Some people don't like resonators because they are too loud. That's quite nice. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, an interesting one. It's if you want the sound of a resonator sound without the massive volume, I suppose this is the one for you. I rather like that, actually. Okay, what are my gripes? The orange stain is just a bit too orange for me. Bit of scruffiness on the neck. But that's really about it. That really is about it. I rather enjoy playing it. If you like resonators, you'll probably be wanting to have a look. If you don't like resonators, you probably hate it before I even started the review. The Gretsch G9112 resonator in the concert scale, all laminate mahogany body, 6-inch Chinese-made resonator cone in there, about 300 quid. Yeah, all right, like that. Another nice option. Right, that was tough to get through. I'm going to go and have some hot lemon drinks, maybe even some whiskey, and try and shake this cold off. Maybe just go to bed. Anyway, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to the channel. That would help me out, and I'll be back next week, same place, same time, and I'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.